Hello and welcome. My name is Ken Clough, and for more than a decade I've photographed weddings throughout New York's capital region. One of the most common concerns I hear from couples has very little to do with wedding planning. It's not about timelines. It's not about venues. It's not even about photography. It's the belief that they are not photogenic. Many couples tell me they're awkward in front of the camera, uncomfortable being photographed, or worried that they won't like the way that they look in their wedding photos. Today, I'd like to share a different way of thinking about being photographed and explain why I believe great wedding photographs are about much more than looking good. Why most people think they are not photogenic. Most of us don't decide we're not photogenic overnight. Instead, it happens little by little. We see an unflattering photo of ourselves on social media. Someone tags us in a picture we weren't expecting. We compare ourselves to a friend who seems to look great in every photo, and slowly we begin to focus on every detail we don't like about ourselves. The challenge is that we're often much more critical of ourselves than we would ever be of someone else. Over time, we begin to create a story. Eventually, those experiences become a story. Maybe you've said some of these things to yourself. I never look good in pictures. My smile is weird. The camera doesn't like me. The problem is that once we begin to believe those stories, we carry them into every photographic experience. Instead of enjoying the moment, we become focused on how we look, and that makes it even harder to relax. A different way to think about being photogenic. I'd like to offer a different perspective. Being photogenic is not a trait that some people have and others don't. In my experience, being photogenic is often the result of feeling comfortable enough to be yourself. Think about the photographs you love most of the people closest to you. You probably aren't analyzing their posture, their smile, or the angle of their face. You're simply responding to who they are. The same thing is true for meaningful wedding photographs. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is presence. Instead of trying to look a certain way, just focus on experiencing the moment. What most couples really want. When I talk with couples, I find they all want similar things. They want to feel comfortable. They want to look natural. They want to enjoy the experience. And they want to focus on each other instead of worrying about the camera. What's interesting is that none of those goals require you to be photogenic. They simply require you to feel comfortable enough to be yourselves. How I help couples feel comfortable in front of the camera. So how do we actually make that happen? My approach is based on simple movements and interactions that people already do every day. I don't expect couples to know how to pose. I don't ask them to perform for the camera. Instead, I guide them through activities that help them relax, connect, and focus on each other. Over the years, that approach has evolved into a simple framework that I use during almost every wedding and portrait session. A simple process for natural, authentic photographs. I call this process SWEEP. You don't need to remember it. That's my job. But what matters is that each step builds naturally on the one before it. We start simple. We create movement. We build connection. We encourage interaction. And before long, couples stop thinking about the camera and start focusing on each other. Side by side. This is where we begin. Most couples arrive wondering what they're supposed to do. Where should I stand? What should I do with my hands? Am I doing this right? Standing side by side removes much of that pressure. It's comfortable. It's familiar. You do it every day. And it allows us to start the session in a relaxed way. Walk. Once couples are comfortable, we add movement. Walking gives people something natural to do. Instead of standing still and thinking about the camera, they're interacting with each other. Movement creates energy. It creates expression. And often, some of the most natural photographs happen while couples are simply walking and talking together. Embrace. Next, we focus on connection. Not posing, but connection. A simple embrace naturally brings people close together. The closer couples become to each other emotionally and physically, the less attention they pay to the camera. And that's when photographs begin to feel more authentic. Eye contact. This is often one of my favorite moments. When couples look at each other instead of the camera, something changes. They stop performing. They stop thinking about how they look, and they begin responding to each other naturally. This is where genuine expressions often emerge. Play. Finally, we make room for personality. This might be laughter, conversation, an inside joke, a spontaneous movement. Every couple is different. The goal isn't to create identical photographs. The goal is to create space for your personalities to appear naturally in the images. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Great wedding photographs are not about being photogenic. Great photographs happen when you stop worrying about the camera and start focusing on the people you love. The ideas I've shared today eventually became the foundation for a book I wrote called The Experience of Being Photographed. That book explores these concepts in greater depth and offers additional insights into trust, connection, presence, and the experience of being photographed. If these ideas resonated with you, I invite you to download a complimentary copy and continue the conversation. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me, and I wish you all the best as you plan your wedding day.